Hello, welcome back to Eat Sleep Game. My name is Luke. We took last week off for numerous reasons. Jake had stuff and things to sort out. I got jabbed and then felt very tired. I just completely wiped out for about 3 or 4 days, which was all the fun. But yeah, this is the delayed episode 5. I am back with just Jake this week. Tom is not available, unfortunately. But how are you doing, Jake? You all good?
Yeah, I'm all good, dude. It's
Wonderful.
been a pretty chill week. Lots of sunshine. Was
Yes.
very upset to find out that you hadn't, in fact, turned into a zombie after getting jabbed up. But you know, it's good that you've been stabbed.
Yeah, I mean, I was a bit of a zombie for a while, to be fair. Like, I genuinely, there was, I think, Tuesday, I think it was. I could not stand up for more than 10 minutes without feeling dizzy. So that was fun. I had to get the missus to get me drinks and stuff, which
You loved, yeah. You just
it
enjoyed
was
every
alright.
minute of it.
It was okay. She never makes me cups of tea, so that was good.
Hey.
I know it was just mostly sleeping for 3 days, which was odd.
Yeah.
Because like I'd finished up editing my audio for my next video, and I was like sick, good to go, start editing, and then jab, and then just out for days. So it was a bit frustrating.
We was gonna record, weren't we, on the day you got jabbed?
We were on the call to record.
Yeah, I think we
I
were
was
both
just there,
just
like,
a little bit out of it. I mean,
Yeah.
you because you got jabbed. I can't remember what I'd done. Not that it matters,
Work,
but
probably.
yeah, probably work. And yeah, it was like talking for like an hour or so, and then was just like, should we
Yeah.
just bun it off?
Yeah. I remember like halfway through, it was just like, I think I'm dead now. I can't do this. And then we just started talking about smartwatches for half an hour, which was great.
Yeah.
I mean, to my credit, I did work, got jabbed, and then did record a different podcast all in that day.
Yeah, that's
It was
true.
just the final stretch. It was the stop in between. It was the gap because I didn't keep going. It was the short break in between, I think, that killed me off. But hey ho, back at it. I actually feel good. I'm gonna have my second jab soon-ish. They haven't told me when, so
Nice. Well, hopefully that'll be the zombie changing jab.
fingers crossed. Yeah.
I honestly,
Hopefully.
I really want some form of zombie outbreak to come from this. Like my dream ever since being a child has been for a zombie outbreak to just kick off.
Yeah.
And I have been let down by so many events that have happened over the years. I mean, I thought Ebola might have been the one that finally brought zombies to us, but you know, and then COVID came round, and I was like, well, this is a real prime opportunity. And then we started talking about vaccines, and if games and films have taught me anything, it's not the actual disease that's the problem. It's the human interaction with the disease trying to fix it that's the problem. So
Sure.
this is our opportunity.
It
We'll
is.
find out. It might still happen yet.
I mean, if there's anyone that's ever prepared for it, it's gonna be you. Like zombie movies, zombie games. You're just finishing up the Resident Evil games now. Like you are in the prime place for it to actually happen. You're in the perfect state of mind for it.
Do you know what? I think what I would probably do is just grab one of my guitars and just use that as a weapon, because I don't really have anything too weapony. Nice. Well, I can't remember what I said, but audio issue. Yeah, completely caned. I was getting all excited then, talking about bashing up zombies with a guitar, and then I was like, wait, where's Luke gone? Anyway, I've probably gone zombie vaccine a bit much there, so
It's fine. We've got the real benefit of missing a week is we have 2 weeks worth of news to catch up on, but there's still not a lot. It's still bits and pieces. But I thought we'd go with the play at home stuff first, because it's kind of pertinent to you as well, because these are free games you can download.
Yeah, man. And that's
So
always nice.
as of yesterday, there are 9 free games that you can download. You don't need any kind of subscription or anything like that. They are just free on the PlayStation Store. These are Res Infinite, Abzu, The Witness, which is a awesome puzzle game. Enter the
Oh, nice. Love a
Dungeon
good puzzle.
and Subnautica. And then the other four are all VR games. So there's Moss, Astrobot Rescue Mission, both fantastic. Paper Beast and Thumper, I haven't played. But yeah, 9 games that you can download completely for free for with PlayStation's VR. Not VR, sorry, just because I'm looking at the VR stuff. The Play at Home initiative that they brought back. All really good games.
Yeah, I've been tempted to play Subnautica for a very long time since it was in early stages and that. You know, I'm a fan of base building games and stuff like that, and I like the ocean, so you know, it sort of appealed to me, but for some reason didn't appeal to me enough for me to buy it.
Yeah,
but
you'll have to.
now it's free.
Exactly.
So
Yeah, this is still pretty cool. We do still have Horizon coming. Trying to see if there's a date, but Horizon April 19th will be free as well. So again, there's another one I highly recommend picking up if you haven't played it or don't even own it, because it's a very, very good game. You shoot big old robot dinosaurs with a bow and arrow. What more could you want?
yeah, again, my other half has been playing Horizon anyway, and I love the aesthetic. I think it really looks awesome, but like, I don't know, I just couldn't get into it myself. Maybe it's because I wasn't the one holding the controller.
Oh, okay,
but,
sure. Yeah.
You know, like, it just didn't feel like it appealed to me too much. I've had a few like goes on it here and there, where I'd be like mainly planting loads of mines and stuff just to lure the robots into them to blow them up, because it just seems like the quickest and easiest way to deal with a lot of them. I mean, to me anyway. But yeah, it looks like a good game.
I mean, there's nothing cooler than fighting the big. It's called a Thunder Jewel, I think, which is the big like T-Rex one, and it is an absolute spectacle when you come across it and actually have to fight it and knock like parts off to get to its weak points and stuff. It is very, very cool. So yeah, I'd highly recommend you even get hands on with it, because if you like the aesthetic, actually playing it is way better, way cooler.
Yeah. I mean, it is like an exceptionally aesthetically pleasing game, and I ain't being funny. We have a PlayStation plugged into a 720p TV because it's about 10 years old, that TV, and I've just not got round to replacing it yet. And for it to still look as good as it does on such an old TV, yeah, mate, I need to upgrade my living room TV. That's kind of shameful, actually, in 2021 to be saying, yes, I've been watching and playing games on a 720p TV.
I mean, you're not going to be alone in that. Like,
look, here's the one benefit of using a 720p TV. You can still hook a Nintendo 64 up to it, and it still looks fine.
Yeah. You're living in the best of both worlds. You got some of the newer stuff that still looks pretty great, but you can still play around with the older stuff, and it still looks great because it's wired that way.
I mean, I'd rather have a 4K TV.
Yeah, for sure.
Like,
I mean, they're getting pretty cheap these days, so.
Yeah, they really are, actually. But I mean, I've been looking because I had an incident where I smashed up my 4K monitor.
Ooh.
It was really dumb, actually. So I was I can't remember exactly, but I was moving some stuff, and it sort of like, and it didn't even fall from a height or anything. It didn't even fall flat. But it sort of fell, and the screen hit like an edge of my mic. I could probably go and get it fixed, but the cost of repairing those TVs now is almost the same cost as buying a new one.
Yeah.
So what's the point? Just, you know, I'm just gonna wait because it's like you say, the prices are going down pretty decently these days. Yeah, let the prices drop a little bit more. Get a decent 4K TV in the other room. I've got like two 1080p monitors that serve me well. High refresh rates. I think they're like 120. I think, and they're curved 120 refresh rate monitors. Like,
sure.
yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, I mean, Other than not curved, my monitors sound. I think they're pretty similar to yours, but yeah, I mean, like I said, 4K is getting pretty cheap. You can probably pick one up for stupidly cheap now. So no big rush. They're only going to get cheaper. And I don't, like 8K
Yeah.
isn't coming anytime soon. If you want an 8K monitor, you've got to pay stupid amounts of money, or TV rather. But hey ho. Stick with PlayStation for a bit because we got a couple of PlayStation E bits to go through. There has been talk, specifically from PlayStation, of their new VR headset. They've said they are making a PS5 specific one, and they've showed off the controllers a bit, which do feature some similar, well, not similar, straight up same sort of technology as their DualSense controller does, which is a adaptive triggers, haptic feedback, and these have the added benefit of finger touch detection and stuff like that you'd expect from VR controllers. I think they look like, granted, a bit stupid, a bit out there, but they do look like pretty standard VR controllers for the most part.
Yeah. I mean, I have a single descriptive word for them, which is ugly.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what I expect from a VR controller, but I thought that was.
They look like an evolved kind of, when like Cell evolves to its like perfect form, or Majin Buu evolves to whatever form.
Well, no, so okay. If we're gonna go down.
No. As in
Dragon Ball.
It looks like a really fucked up evolution of the Quest controllers, the Oculus Quest controllers.
Oh, right.
Because they're way better. They're literally just like, they've got those rings so it could detect your hands moving, but they are just like joysticks you hold on to.
Yeah.
Like,
so the Quest, I guess that's more what I see when I think of like the way the controller should be. But that PlayStation one, I can't actually remember what it looks like. I'm gonna have to look it up.
Oh yeah, ridiculous. Wait, hold on.
PS.
I could put it in your.
God.
I can Discordy.
Yeah, no, okay. I've got a picture of it now. Anyway, yeah.
Yeah,
It is ridiculous. It's just nah. It's not good.
No,
it's not good.
I mean, like I said,
I like the old ones on look, I understand this has a lot more functionality and it makes more sense, but I actually like those giant
the move controllers,
dildo-esque shape move controllers. There you go, the move controllers.
I get what you mean, but you are in a very small minority that does like those, because they are kind of.
I wouldn't say I like them.
Oh, okay, fair enough. Fair enough.
Like is a very strong word.
Fair. Tolerate then. Tolerate.
Yeah, tolerate.
I don't know. I feel like
prefer.
You could have got, because I don't get what the rings
I guess
are
it reminds me of the Wii a bit.
Can you remember?
Yeah, that's what I mean. What are the rings
I don't
for?
honestly know,
because there's not a sensor inside.
I don't think so. So the first thing you'll know, I'm on the PlayStation blog and I'm on the design bit. The first thing you'll notice with our next gen VR controllers is the unique design, which takes on an orb shape that allows you to hold the controller naturally while playing with a high degree of freedom. There are no constraints on how you move in your hands, providing developers with the ability to create unique gameplay experiences. We designed a new controller with great ergonomics, well balanced, comfortable. I don't think it doesn't say anything about what the rings are for. But in like the normal picture, can you remember the old Sony Ericsson logo? They look like the Sony Ericsson logo. It's really weird.
Yeah, I guess they do.
And
I was a big fan of Sony Ericssons. Just to add
same.
that
I loved Sony Ericssons. They were great. But yeah, I don't quite get what the I don't get what the rings are for.
So I've had a thought about it, just looking at it now. Like I'm just on Google Images, and the first image under PS5 VR controller. Looking at the way it is, I can see a potential reason for the ring being there from a viewpoint, but I don't know how accurate this would be anyway, because you know, if you're playing a game, you shouldn't really be spending time looking at where your controller is positioned. But the ring, when it's in your hand, maybe it gives you a sense of what balanced on the cons are, like on the controllers are. So like, you know, when that ring is sat back around your wrist at like a level way,
Sure,
yeah.
sure.
Do you kind of get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like so that's how you know that it's back, and it's, you know, for like games where you might be tilting.
Sure.
See, I don't know a lot about VR games, so I don't know whether you do a lot of that sort of stuff, but certainly you did with the old like Wiimotes and that, a lot of like wrist movements, and then bringing the controller back to like a balanced position. So I can see that sort of being a guide for that. But
I mean, it's difficult at the minute because we only have pictures and some written word to go on. We don't have any kind of demonstration. So I'm sure when it actually comes to demonstration videos, it'd be way clearer. But they do look a bit stupid and a bit out there, especially like we said, compared.
they're going for futuristic, aren't they?
Yeah,
Like,
for sure.
Everything about PS5 is like very futuristic-esque, like from the console design to the controller design, especially like the white sort of spacey theme.
Yeah. It does.
But yeah,
it does make me worry about what the actual headset's going to look like.
Oh, have they not revealed a picture of the headset yet?
No.
Oh.
It does make me want, like, not that it's too much to worry about.
I hope it's a Tron visor, man.
That would
That'd
be
be
cool.
sick. Like if you had like a motorcycle helmet and it's just a little Tron visor that comes down and goes.
Yeah, that would be pretty cool. That would be pretty cool.
I have a vision for VR.
That would be pretty slick. I don't. Not that it really matters too much because you're going to be inside the thing. You're not going to be looking at it really when you're using it, I guess. Maybe.
I don't know. You don't really want to look like a knob while you're playing VR in front of people, though, do you?
I don't know. That's half of the fun, I think. That's half of the experience.
I guess.
Because I mean, generally at the moment, I only pull mine out when people are around, sort of thing. So you can watch other people play.
Sort of like, falling over, watching people stumble, watching people who are terrified of horror games playing a horror game in VR.
Yeah.
Like certainly from that point of view, you do want people to look like a knob. But I mean, like, we're all so obsessed with our appearance these days. Like,
yeah, that's true.
don't want to look like a knob.
That'd be true.
I'm fine with anything from that sense. It's like you say, you put it on, you're in there, you just, as long as it's got a good screen on the inside, that's all that really matters, isn't it?
Well, I mean, the PlayStation 5 VR is way in the future. They're nowhere near done with it. We're going to talk about something that's not in the future, unfortunately. That is the PlayStation 3, PSP, and PlayStation Vita digital stores are reportedly closing. This hasn't been confirmed yet from Sony, but it seems like it will be relatively soon. Apparently, they are gearing up to, start moving on from those devices. PS3 and PSP first. Those will be gone in July, with the Vita shop apparently following around the end of August. It's kind of an inevitable shame, really, because the PS3 has got a pretty good back library. PSP, I don't know too much about because I haven't had one since I was in school. But the PS Vita is the one that stings a bit because people are still making games for that. And if it wasn't for Sony kind of giving up on it, it could have been such a great device. But Sony kind of just put it out there, gave it some attention for a year or two, and then just kind of faded off. It did so well in Japan and kind of only Japan. And it's such a shame that they didn't push on with it. Because for a while, it became my, I said before we started this, that I was playing stuff like Symphony of the Night on there because trying to buy an actual physical copy of that is expensive. So it's a shame. We don't know what it means for games you've purchased, if you're still going to be able to download those, but I would imagine so. It'd be a bit dodgy if you were completely shut out of all those games. But only time will tell. Did you own a PS3?
Well, did I own a PS3?
Oh wait, you did. Yeah, you did.
Job up.
I remember.
I owned a PSP. I still own a PSP actually.
Really?
Oddly enough, it's among the things I recently dug
Oh,
out.
cool.
Yeah.
I wanted to pick one up.
Yeah, which is super weird. Don't have a charger for it. Don't have any games for it. Just a PSP. You can have my PSP.
Oh,
I'll best get it turned on first to make sure there's nothing dodgy downloaded on there, because that's all you really use those things for as a kid, isn't it? Like, it was a good way to hide stuff from other people.
I can't remember what Need for Speed game it was, but I remember I distinctly remember a Lady Sovereign song just constantly playing on it. That's all I remember about it. And I had some
Lady Sovereign.
yeah, exactly. Like, I'm surprised I even plucked that name out of the back of my head somewhere.
Yeah, mate, I'm impressed. I am impressed.
I am as well, to be fair. There was like I think it was called Gangs of London as well. There was a gang game.
It sounds about right for me.
No. This was a separate PSP game. Yeah, Gangs of London.
Oh right, okay.
Not very good. It was okay, but you could choose. I think there was like 4 or 5 different gangs you can play around with, but all it did was change your outfit and ethnicity and stuff like that. It didn't actually mean different stories or anything like that. It was fine. It was cool.
Yeah.
It was wait, it was in the okay. I'm learning new things about this game. It was actually set in the Getaway universe, and I had no idea.
Oh,
and
wow.
It's made by the same developers as well.
Interesting. Yeah, I think the only real game I had or played, well, actually there was a couple, so I was about to lie. So one of the things that got me to get the PSP in the first place was the Metal Gear game that come out on it. I can't remember. Was it Peace Walker or
There
was it
Peace
a different
Walker
one?
and Portable Ops.
Yeah, okay, so I think it was Peace Walker. Either way, it become uncanonized pretty quickly.
No, Peace Walker's still canon. It's Portable Ops.
I thought one of them...
That is not canon.
Oh, it must have been Portable Ops then. But it is the thing that really made me sort of fall in love with the Grey Fox character.
Oh, okay.
Frank Yeager. Like, he went from being just a background cyborg ninja boy from, Metal Gear and Metal Gear Solid 1 to just being this really awesome character to me. Like, that bit of storytelling for him, getting to know a bit about him back in Zanzibar, which is where the game was primarily set. It was sick. That was dope. And Killzone.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
That game on PSP. Yeah. I think, did it come out on PSP initially? Is that where it started?
I don't think so, no. I think that was PS2 first and then a PSP.
Yeah. Either way, that's where I played it, was on PSP. It was a lot of fun. I did enjoy playing that, but I don't really remember a lot about it.
Yeah.
The PS Vita, I literally thought was just like a fancier version of the PSP. Didn't realise it was a separate console until just now.
Sure. Yeah, they didn't push it very well at all. It was really cool. It was in practice, it was a fancier version of the PSP, but it was far more powerful. They had like a full Uncharted game on it, which was actually pretty good. There was a full Killzone game. There was a full bunch of other games as well. And it is just a shame because it was such a good little device. Again, I hope they keep it open so you can download games you have, because I've got some cool ass games on there that I wanna pull from, but time will tell.
Like, as far as handheld consoles go, it's just trying to compete against Nintendo.
I mean, if there was anyone that could, it would have been Sony, but they've completely given it up.
They definitely had the opportunity to, because I knew a lot of people who had PSPs back in today. But yeah, I mean, we was talking about it beforehand. The Mr. Game and Watch consoles, like Nintendo is all over it when it comes to handheld personal consoles, and especially these days, like trying to move into handheld gaming world. Why not just make it a game that's playable on a mobile phone? Everyone's already got that phone in their pocket.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's certainly doable. I mean, like I said in the last podcast, I've been playing Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic on my phone, which is one of my all-time favorite games, and it's available on my mobile phone. So yeah, I guess, I mean, it was going to have to die eventually.
Yeah.
Like you say, sad. Hopefully you can keep all of the games that you have on there. Actually, I just remembered what I used my PSP for mainly. Funnily enough, talking about Nintendo, I used it to play hacked version of Nintendo games.
That's fair. Fair.
It just was. So I had Nintendo 64 ROMs on there. I certainly had SNES ROMs on there. Had some old Street Fighter games on it. Oh, actually, I'm going to see if I've still got the SD card in that. I'm going to buy a charger for it and see if I can boot it up.
Yeah.
Right, that's pretty sick. But yes, cool. In answer to the initial question, did I have a PS3? The answer to that question is yes.
I remember the story.
Did it swallow my game? Did it YOLO on me? Yes. Did I take a hammer to it? Yes.
Did you have...
Is that the end of the PS3 saga? Yes.
Did you have the original like fat PS3? Like the big boy?
Yeah, I had the 60 gig backwards compatibility.
Oh, nice.
I actually bought it like later on down the line. So I was... I got sucked into the Xbox world because a lot of my mates bought Xbox 360s, and you know it was that era. I was in school. You just got the console your mates had, so you could all play together.
Yeah, sure.
But then there were so many exclusives on PS3 that I just really wanted to play. It's kind of how I feel about PlayStation at the moment. There's so many exclusives that I really want to be able to play that I felt like I had to get the PS3, and then it just so happened to be that the first one that I was really, really enjoying, obviously being The Last of Us, just wound up dying in there. I spent a lot of time playing my old PS2 games on that PlayStation 3.
Sure.
So, it probably was my fault that it died, but I don't feel bad about it.
No, I mean...
Actually, I do. It made me feel very bad, but...
I was kind of similar. I got the PS3 very late on. Like, literally, I got it, and then about 6 to 12 months later, the PS4 was announced, and I was like, well, great. But same reason, I wanted to play Uncharted. I got it before The Last of Us was announced, so I didn't have that, in my mind at the time. But yeah, stuff like Uncharted, stuff like that is exactly why I picked it up. And it's something that is still really strong with PlayStation, to their credit. Speaking of...
it really is.
There's good segues. Good segues today. But yeah, speaking of...
Accidental segues.
Strong. Even though I wasn't a huge fan of it, but strong-ish PlayStation exclusives. The much-loved Ghost of Tsushima is getting a movie. Sony have literally announced this yesterday, that the Sucker Punched produced game is getting a full feature-length movie to go along with the Uncharted movie. What else was there? There was the Last of Us TV show, and I think there's a what is it called? I can't remember, but there's another TV show in the works that I'm forgetting off the top of my head. But it's got an interesting director attached, and he is the director of the John Wick movies. And as Jake found out just before we started recording, a bunch of older movies that he's a big fan of as well.
Yeah, I genuinely had no idea. Obviously, man did John Wick films. I wasn't that hot on John Wick. He did V for Vendetta. Did we say his name?
Oh, sorry, no. It's Chad Stahelski. I believe that's how it's pronounced.
Stahelski, yeah, something like that. But yeah, he did the V for Vendetta film, and he did a load of like old 90s films that are just like full of my nostalgia anyway. Sure. Yeah, I big fan of a lot of his films. So yeah, when you first told me about it and you said John Wick, I was a little bit like,
sure.
Okay, well, I mean, I know lots of people like the John Wick film, so I'm sure it'll be a really good job, yeah. And then clocked he was Mr. V for Vendetta.
Yeah, that's an amazing movie.
Or the director.
I love that film.
Yeah, absolutely amazing movie. And then seeing some of the other films that he directed that I was, just in love with. Yeah, it's got me super excited. I've not played Ghost of Tsushima. but I love the aesthetic. I'm
Yeah,
so
yeah, yeah.
like sold on it.
I think this could like
Yeah,
if there's ever a video game movie that's gonna be very good, I think this one genuinely could, because like the story's not bad by any means. It is just kind of a bit stretched thin. It's one of those games where I think an open world kind of hurt it a bit.
yeah,
But condensed into a 2 hour movie, adding in because the combat was pretty fun. I had some issues, technical issues with the combat. But at its base, the combat is really fun. But translating that to film with John Wick style combat potentially, and like the cinematics could be really cool. The
look,
choreography
all I'm
could be
saying
dope. Like
is,
this could be a very good film.
like, I obviously I don't know a lot about the game or the game story or how the gameplay mechanic works or anything, but man, I have been waiting years and years for another Last Samurai-esque film.
Sure.
And I mean, I'm not the biggest fan of Tom Cruise. He's not like the worst actor in the world, but The Last Samurai is, again, probably up there as one of my favorite movies. I absolutely love it. So, you know, if they can just capture the feeling of that again in some way,
Sure.
then that would be pretty sick. Obviously, I think it's set in slightly different eras,
Yes.
but it's just the feeling that I would like to see from it. I mean, I'd love to play the game. I should play the game.
Yeah, you could probably pick it up on sale because Sony are doing some bonkers sales at the moment,
Yeah,
or just constantly. But yeah, I don't know. Part of me wants to revisit it because PS5 now, hopefully with whatever PS5 edition is going to come out, then I don't have as many technical issues as I did, which was a big dampener on my enjoyment of the game. But I wasn't too fond of the story or the characters or anything like that really either. But I'm in the vast minority on this. Most people
yeah,
love this game, and I mean it's sold more than 6.5 million copies. So people love this game. It's done very very well.
yeah.
And there's even talk of like the developers becoming ambassadors of Tsushima, like the actual island in Japan. It's
Oh wow.
that popular sort of thing.
Okay.
So I mean, I would watch the movie. I think it sounds like it could be really cool if it's coming. Like I said, if it's coming from similar people that did John Wick and all the choreography and cinematography behind that, I think it could be a very very cool movie. But again, time will tell. We'll see when that actually. Maybe when we get our first look at a trailer, that could be very telling.
But have they said anything about story so far, or is it literally an adaptation of the game?
Translate it. It looks like it's going to be an adaptation.
Yeah, that's a bit of a shame, I guess.
They could. So the guy that actually plays the main character, Jin, looks
Yeah.
looks a lot like Jin, and he's relatively young.
Oh, did they mocap it?
I believe
I guess
so,
they
yeah.
do a lot of mocap these days,
Yeah,
don't
they
they?
do, yeah.
It just makes more sense.
Even for like animated stuff, like art styles and that.
Yeah.
But yeah, this could be one of the instances where they actually get the actor from the game to act in the movie as well, which
That would be
that would be
sick.
really really cool. I think.
Still looking for the David Hayter Metal Gear
I am
thing.
he did like I think he did like a little. Oh no, that was for Metal Gear Solid 4, wasn't it? Where he did the interviews.
Yeah, that was in Metal Gear Solid 4 at the beginning. Yeah,
I think
I mean, it was sick, but I enjoyed that.
it's kind of like the Uncharted thing with Nathan Fillion. Like we always wanted that movie sort of thing, or even with Nolan North as well. To be fair,
Yeah.
but they're both.
But I never played any of the Uncharted games, but I'd be down with it turning into a film. I mean, the Tomb Raider films were all great.
Sure.
So,
Sure.
I'm on board with some more raiding of tombs, which is all I really know about.
Yeah, I think I've got the Uncharted collection
game series,
on disc that you could borrow because they are fun popcorn games. They're very, very action movie. The fourth one is where like the story gets really pulled out, but that's by the same guy that does The Last of Us, so you kind of expect that.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, Ghost of Tsushima. I might replay it before the movie comes out, but yeah, it's getting a movie.
I'm gonna play it.
I think you should. I think you might like it. It just didn't click with me. I just didn't.
Thing is, I think I might even just wind up liking it because of the aesthetic.
Sure.
Like just on that basis alone, I could really get behind it.
I mean, the one thing I did really, really enjoy is the photo mode. The photo mode is incredible. You can get some incredible photos. I actually need to turn my PS4 on and port over all those photos because the photo mode is incredible. I adore that photo mode. It's very, very, very cool one.
Oh, I mean, it's only £55 at the moment.
Oh,
so,
that's not
you
that's
know,
not too bad. That's practically full price.
too much for me.
Is it? Yeah, I don't have it on disc either, so I couldn't
Yeah.
throw it over, unfortunately. But hey ho, one day, sometime
cool.
it'll go
I'll
on.
play it.
It'll go cheap.
Excuse me, CD keys.
CD keys aren't that good for PlayStation, though, are they?
I've never even looked at it to check. Let's see. Ghost
You're way ahead of me.
of no, it's not even on there.
CD keys is great for PC, or if you're. The only other thing you could do, I did this recently, is look at buying like PlayStation vouchers, and then buying it that way.
Yeah,
That's what I've started doing because it does work out a
that's
bit cheaper,
pretty sick idea.
which is handy. I got like £35 for £30, I think it was, something like that,
yeah,
which is nice.
mate. Yeah, £5 saving is a £5
Exactly.
saving. CD keys sponsor us.
Yeah, absolutely do. I love CD keys. I talk about them on every podcast I'm on. So maybe one day they'll sponsor me. That would be fantastic.
Oh, I mean, look, here's another reason. Neo 2 CD keys at the moment for the PC edition is $25.99, and I am going to buy that right now.
That's tasty. That's a tasty one. Is that for the collection
Complete edition.
or just two?
It says complete edition,
Oh, okay.
so I don't know whether that's got them both. But I've already got the first game anyway.
Ah,
so,
okay, nice. I think I've got it on PS4 or PS5. I think.
yeah,
Hey ho.
amazing game.
But we are moving away from PlayStation for a bit now, because Square Enix held a pretty good presentation. I think it's been the best one so far that we've had in a while since like the Nintendo stuff.
Oh, I see. The best one so far, and I didn't even watch it.
That's fine. I'm gonna recap the highlights for me at the very least. So the first one actually came out a bit earlier than the presentation did, which was weird. It came out the morning before, and that was the Tomb Raider Definitive Survivor trilogy, which is a mouthful. But that got announced, which is all three of the newer Tomb Raider games, with their all their DLC and stuff like that, all included, which was really cool. And
Wait, for £20?
it was £20 when it dropped, and that's when I picked it up. I'm just checking to see if it's still.
Mate, that's an insane deal,
yeah,
actually.
Yeah, very much. Tomb Raider. Let's have a looky. Oh, it moved.
Where did you go?
What is?
I would take that though.
I did. I own all the games
think
individually, but I own them across platforms, so I couldn't.
Yeah, so I was about to say that. I've got the first two on PC, and then we've got the other one. I think you lent it to us, haven't you? The other one on PC, on PlayStation.
So on the website, that I'm not logged into the website, but it's saying it's £44. But it still says save 60% if you have PS Plus. So that probably does mean that it is still.
Yeah, around 20 quid. Yeah, no, that makes sense. That's a good deal. Thank you, Square. There's a reason why I love you.
Yeah. Oh, it won't tell me.
And that's Final Fantasy, but
it won't tell me how much it is now because I've already bought it. But yeah, I have a look. It's still saying that you can save 60% if you've got PS Plus. Which would make it around 20 quid, but it's absolute bargain for three very good games. The second one in particular is fantastic. With the DLC, you get to like go around Laura's house. It's a bit dilapidated and that. It's really cool to play around in. And there is a VR mode as well that I haven't checked out. But very, very good games, and very good price as well. I mean, to be fair, even at the £45 for 3 definitive edition games, still pretty good
Yeah, it's
price.
still a good price. Yeah.
Still very good. The next thing, I just thought it was quite funny, is that Square announced a Hitman Sniper mobile game, and it made me chuckle a bit because it seems like they've now went, oh shit, we shouldn't have let Hitman go because Hitman 3 has done insanely well. So that made me chuckle a bit because it's clear they've been allowed to keep or make use of the the Hitman Sniper IP, but they can't actually use Agent 47 because he is nowhere to be seen, and he is like your character is talked about as like the next Hitman sort of thing. They clearly just made a bit of an oopsie, and are trying to.
Oh, so what? They sold.
They let it go.
The character essentially.
No. So IO, who have been making the games forever, they were just let go. They were literally just like, you can go and you can take Hitman with you. It's all good. They were very nice about it. Like Square even helped find them like a new publisher when they did 2. They did.
Oh, mad!
They went with Warner Brothers, but then 3 is the one that's really killed. And it's self-published, so all of that money is just theirs. They are absolutely killing it with that one.
That's sick, man. I hated the Hitman games, not gonna lie.
Really?
But yeah, I never got into any of them. I mean, I guess that also means I didn't bother with some of the newer ones. But yeah, I just really wasn't sold by it early on in life. But yeah, no, that's nuts, and that's mad moving from Square to be so like accommodating with the release of them.
Square were really nice about it. Like I said, they even helped like find them or try and find them a new suitable publisher. It wasn't just whatever, you can take them sort of thing. They actively helped them find the right fit, which I thought was really good.
Man. If I was letting someone go, I'd just kick them out on the curb and say bye.
Yeah, for sure.
Maybe give them a Snickers.
Wow,
I know that's pretty nice, right?
Snickers is good.
Yeah. The new ones. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure. The new Life is Strange game got revealed. Life is Strange True Colors. It looks like it's completely new characters. I haven't actually played them. I've kind of followed them, but haven't played any of them. And the main power is empathy, which is a bit on the nose, but sure, we'll hold judgment until it actually comes out. It does, if I remember correctly, it's not actually coming out as episodic this time. It is just going to be one whole game.
Oh, that might make me actually pick it up.
Sure. Yeah, I always wait until it's all out.
The whole episodes thing, yeah. I actually really do want to go through the Life is Strange games, and I've got a couple of them. Well, I've got the 2 of them, but the first episodes, because they always put the first episodes either dirt cheap or free, don't they? And then I just never wound up playing them because I don't have the rest of the episodes and I don't want to start something and
so I've got
not get through the whole thing.
I can't remember which way I have it, but I've got episode 1 free on my PlayStation, I think, and then I have the other 4 episodes free on Steam, maybe.
Yeah,
it's really bizarre. I don't know if I actually have all of it or not. I'm kind of confused about it, but there is a remaster of both the Life is Strange games, and it's prequel coming alongside the new Life is Strange game, and the Ultimate Edition. Where was it? The Ultimate Edition of True Colors comes with both of those remasters as well. So that's a nice little package.
Yeah. But there's another game Square made along the same, published along the same lines as that, called, I think it was like The Awesome Adventures of Captain Spirit. Yeah. And I really, really loved the first bit of that game. I've not gotten any further because I never got around to buying the rest of it.
Sure.
But I really think I will.
It's weird because that's not mentioned at all in this. It's not in the collection. No. It's not in nothing. And it was that was meant to be like a kind of prequel to season 2 of Life is Strange.
Yeah.
But it's not brought up at all. It's not getting a remaster. It's not in the Ultimate Collection.
Weird.
Bit odd.
But yeah, I mean, I really, and I only, like I say, did the first bit of the game where you're just like going around his house and looking for, I think you're looking for your dad or something.
Sure.
Anyway, it doesn't matter. You're looking for something. And, oh no, you're not looking for your dad. You're just sort of like playing around as a kid and your dad's being a bit of a dick on the sofa.
Sure.
That's what's happening.
Sure.
And yeah, it just sort of ends off in his like back garden. And then you're like, well, I absolutely want to play the rest of the game, please.
Yeah, that is. I always tend to wait until like I did the same with the new original Hitman, because that was episodic, and I just waited until the Game of the Year edition came out and just bought it all in one and played through it, and it was awesome, way cooler. I think episodic games could be something we see more of with stuff like Game Pass, but we'll see. They kind of, unless they can compel you to keep coming back and remind you to download that game and download the next episode and stuff like that, it can be a bit of a struggle, and they are very expensive. As I
kind of hate it, yeah. But for that reason, they're very expensive. Like the Telltale games really cashed in on it, didn't they, with the Game of Thrones? Telltale.
Yeah.
And I think the reason it worked so well for them and why you started to see more of that coming was because Game of Thrones was already an episodic thing. It's a TV show. So you're used to waiting for the next bit to come out and you get hooked in it. And this game that was following the exact same pattern and telling a story within the same universe and dragging it out from starting out from a very key turning point in the TV series. I think that's, they did a really good job of that. And for them, like, I hated the fact that it was a episodic thing, and I'm really not on board with it, basically, is what I'm getting at. They cashed in on something from a business perspective. They cashed in and they did a really good job. Well done them. But you've hurt my wallet.
I mean, it's expensive both sides as well, because development wise, like IO, again, when they were doing that first Hitman game, they did it episodically, and they said it almost bankrupted them when it afterwards. But I don't know. I'm with you. I just prefer even The Walking Dead. Like I stopped and just waited until that was out fully to play through it, because then I could just binge through it, and I wouldn't
and get that discount.
Yeah, and I wouldn't get distracted by something else and go play something else and then come back to a second episode and forgot what the first episode was and stuff like that. Like, it is just way easier. I didn't actually play the Game of Thrones one. I think I'm not even sure.
Oh, did you not?
No, I'm not even sure if I own the Game of Thrones one. I've only played season 1 of The Walking Dead, and that is pretty perfect. That is pretty untouchable.
The Game of Thrones ones, I mean, I did buy the whole thing in the end, so that says something about it, I guess. I did enjoy it, but then it's like I say, at the time I was very engrossed into the Game of Thrones universe, like everyone was up until the end.
Yeah, I didn't even bother with the last season. I didn't watch it. I gave up the season before.
Joe, I'm not even going to go into it. I was about to go on a Game of Thrones tangent, but let's not, because we'll be here for a very, very, very long time.
We'll save that when we don't have a topic and news to get through. But
yay, good idea.
We got a new look at the Avengers game. So we got a look at the next gen update, and they announced the Black Panther expansion, which looks pretty cool. I really hope they can pull this together, because I liked what I played of Avengers, but they kind of just screwed the rest up. Apparently the online stuff was terrible, and then they delayed the first DLC character, which kind of made a lot of people fall off. Last time I checked on Steam, there were only like 500 concurrent players, which is nothing. It is abysmal.
That game didn't even come out that long ago, did it?
No, September, I think. So it's coming up for about 6 months.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn.
So it's a shame.
Yeah, there's one 1,000 at the moment,
Yeah, yeah.
with a 2,000 24-hour peak.
It's nothing.
Um,
Absolutely nothing. Which is a shame because the story in the campaign is fine. It's pretty good, but it is just kind of it's a live service game that they've attached the story to, sort of thing.
yeah.
Half of them are go here, fight some guys, collect this MacGuffin of some kind. But I'm looking forward to it. They have, skipping ahead a bit, they have delayed their Spider-Man DLC. It didn't actually have a date or anything, but it was supposed to be
Yeah.
coming by like now ish, but they've delayed it until later this year. And that again, that is only for PlayStation as well, which is a bit shitty, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
And finally, for Square, we got another look at Project Athea, and they revealed the title, and it's a terrible, terrible title. It's called Forspoken. I would have preferred it if they just went with Athea, because Athea is
I thought
the
that was
name of
pretty
the
sick.
world.
Yeah.
Forspoken is a terrible name, absolutely god awful name. Is one of those words where you're saying it and it feels like you're saying something wrong.
Yeah.
Like, I kept wanting to call it Forward. Like, it's Forspoken is a terrible title, but Athia looks great. It looks really cool.
It just looks amazing.
I genuinely
man.
thought, and I think Sean might have been from the Game Pro podcast as well on this. I genuinely thought that this was going to be a clever reveal of what the next Final Fantasy game was going to be. I thought this was actually going to be Final Fantasy 16 because it is made by a team that worked on Final Fantasy, I believe. I can't remember which one off the top of my head. But it was like they've offshooted and made like put a new studio together, sort of thing. It looks really cool. I can't wait to play it.
It just looks amazing,
It
man.
does.
Like,
it really, really does. It looks absolutely stunning.
like you say, the name's a bit disappointing, but
Yeah, but by the time like it comes out, if it's good, that will become a non-issue. Like Horizon Zero Dawn is a pretty stupid name, but now it's
Yeah.
just normal because it came out, it was a good name, and it's whatever sort of thing. But yeah, aside from the stupid name, it looks incredible. I can't wait for it. It just looks stunning. Like the first time we saw it ages ago when we didn't know anything more than it just being Project Athia. It looked stunning then, and it's kept that. It still looks amazing, which it says something really. I'm really looking forward to it. Really looking forward to seeing more.
yeah, I definitely need to get a 4K monitor back by the time that drops.
Yeah.
Oh wait, is this going to be PS5 only? Exclusive? It's not, is it?
Probably PS5 and PC, I think, if I remember right.
Okay, that's fine. Be PC because I'm hoping to upgrade that soon as well.
Yeah, PC and PS5.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
Yeah, I'll probably end up getting on PC. Hopefully, by the time it's launched, my new PC will be here. Hopefully, but we got time. That's not coming out till next year. Hopefully.
Like, I hope, please.
I really hope. I'm desperate for my new PC. I know we're literally just waiting for the graphics card to be available. That's literally it. Everything else is good to go.
Oh yeah, you're gonna be waiting a long time.
Yeah, I mean, last I was told is they were expecting a substantial batch around now. So fingers crossed. They are supposed to like the
Wait, what's the card you went for in the end?
3080.
Yeah.
So they are supposed to apparently going to be coming a bit more readily available from now. They're stepping up production and stuff. But hey ho, fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. There are 2 more delays to talk about. After the Spider-Man delay, we got a delay for Gotham Knights, which I was a bit bummed about because that looks pretty cool. It's a co-op continuation of the Arkhamverse, I believe.
Or maybe from what I can tell. I don't. Well, actually, no. It's a bit. It's in a bit of a weird place, actually, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because it's like, well, I don't know. From what I
You know
remember
what?
from the trailer, he leaves them a little fucking video message where
Yeah,
he's like,
I actually don't
"Yo,
think it is. I'm thinking of the wrong game.
yeah,
Suicide Squad
yeah,
is
yeah,
meant to
yeah."
be the continuation because that's actually made by Rocksteady. This is
I
Warner
mean,
Brothers.
this looks
It
sick.
does look very
It does
cool.
look
I mean,
sick.
the Court of Owls seem to be the main villain, and I am all about that. The Court of
Yeah,
Owls are so cool. I going based on the trailer, I would be very surprised if Batman is actually dead and he's not like gone deep undercover in the Court of Owls, and by the end of the game you're able to play as him or something.
yeah. So that was something I was a bit worried about, actually.
Hmm.
Look, I love Batman, the Batman comics and the Batman
Hmm.
universe. It's certainly, as far as I'm concerned, where DC goes. It might as well just be called Batman and the Goon Squad,
Yeah,
um,
yeah.
because the
Well, I
the only
mean,
thing
DC
I've ever
literally
been
stands for
interested
Detective
in,
Comics, so pretty
yeah,
much
yeah,
is.
the only thing I've ever really been interested in from DC
Mm.
is Batman,
Yeah,
the Batman universe.
yeah.
Um, in fact, I actually prefer Batman to any Marvel thing,
Same.
but as a
Yeah.
whole, I prefer Marvel.
Yeah, same. Other than Green Lantern, I quite like Green Lantern. I think he's, the whole concept of it around is pretty cool, and they kind of do the same thing
Yeah,
in Marvel with Nova, but they just don't. It's just not as cool.
yeah. I mean, I think the Lanterns are a little bit too militant for me. Maybe that's my
Sure,
issue.
sure.
But yeah. Gotham Knights, I think, is going to be a really good game, and
Mm.
it's like we've said before. Delay. If you're going to get it right, then delay
Oh,
the
for sure.
goddamn
Yeah.
game.
I mean, from the things I've heard about it, is it was kind of it's been pushed back because of Avengers and because of Cyberpunk coming out and being received poorly. Apparently, it
Well,
wasn't.
that tells you something worrying, actually, doesn't
Yeah,
it?
apparently it wasn't. The delay is because it's not in a good place, and because of
Mental.
it still has the potential to be a very good game, but it was
Yeah.
just gonna kind of be released in a kind of Avengers kind of state where it's fine, but it's not where it should be, sort
Yeah.
of thing. But after the
This.
backlash recently, they were like, maybe we shouldn't do this.
Well, yeah. This has been happening more and more. I'd say the first time I really felt that was with the pirate game I used to like
Sea of
playing. That
Thieves.
I've with Sea of
Yeah.
Thieves, where it just I guess No Man's Sky technically is where this sort of shit began, but
Yeah. Yeah.
like how can the fact that they've or the rumor is that's why they're delaying it is because they're not happy
Hmm.
with the position it's in for release. Why was they going to release it? Like,
Yeah.
you
I
know what I
mean,
mean?
it's the same conversation with Cyberpunk as well. It's like
Yeah,
they fully knew, and they were telling the higher ups that this game is not ready and wouldn't be ready for another
yeah,
year, but money.
yeah. I totally get that. I mean, actually, the Dark Souls 1 fell into that trap of your time's up, release your game.
Mm-hmm.
In the DLC for the game was originally supposed to be a part of the main storyline, and
Yeah. Yeah.
because they didn't have enough time to finish everything, they couldn't implement it properly, which is why you go for a portal when it's not connected up to the rest of the map. I mean, it
Okay,
worked
sure.
out fine for them in the
Yeah,
end. But yeah, it's just mental, man.
it is.
Like
It is.
you're just soiling your reputation.
Yeah, it's double-edged sword because Cyberpunk sold a lot. Like they sold like 8 million copies before the game had even launched.
Yeah, yeah,
But then they did have a load of refunds to deal with as well afterwards. So I don't know. It seems like like developers are learning from this, and they are actually listening to the people working on the game
I
now.
hope
So
so.
hopefully
Yeah.
we're past the worst of it. But I wouldn't hold my breath on that.
Oh, it's just going to resurface in a few years'
Absolutely.
time. Like, something else big that everyone's been waiting on.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just going to wind up being shit. Just because I was, like, generally interested. Cyberpunk 2077 has now reportedly had to refund almost 2 million copies of the game.
Yeah, I mean, which still compared to I think last I saw they were on like 12 million copies sold. That's still
Yeah.
10 million copies that they haven't had to refund.
Oh yeah. I mean,
it's in-
10 million times £60 is
Mhm.
a lot of pounds.
Absolutely.
Um,
They 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 made absolute gangbusters on that, and it released, and it was an absolute shit show. But hey
yeah.
ho.
I feel like we shit on Cyberpunk quite a lot. I feel like that's a main theme in these podcasts as well.
I mean, I feel like it is something that doesn't happen enough. It is kind of always pulled back with well, it's a good game. It's like, yeah, but it's an absolute mess. So
Is it a good game? I've felt no interest in playing it. Not a single part of me since its release. Like before its release, I was very tempted. I nearly become a pre-purchaser, but I had a bit of a feeling about it that I wanted to wait and see what was gonna go on. And fuck me, am I glad I did.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, like I've said before, I only picked it up because I got it cheap on CD keys. Thank you, CD keys.
Plus you review games, so it makes sense for you to pick it up.
Yeah. And Cyberpunk is actually part of the reason that I've changed how I review games. I'm doing them a bit later now. So maybe in a year I'll come back to Cyberpunk and review it, and we'll see how it is. But for now, I'm not touching it.
Actually, I think retrospective reviews are pretty important to have.
Yeah.
Because the market in that sense is like flooded by first impressions. And
Absolutely.
That's not a realistic view of any game. Like there's always going to be issues with any game that comes out. Day one patches, very, very important. But most games get reviewed before day one, and then the reviewer sits on it and then releases their review.
Yeah, that was a big problem with Days Gone. Like when Days Gone first launched, it was fair to say a mess. But then literally within 2 weeks, it was practically fixed. And the game most people played compared to what reviewers played were very, very different. That's why review scores aren't as highly thought of as like general consensus of the game is. That's another one I want to go back to actually, because I played that at launch and had some issues. So I'd love to go back and replay that one. But I'm sure I will at some point. The final delay we have to talk about is Back for Blood. That just got delayed from, I can't remember when it was originally meant to launch, but it's delayed until October, not August. Which is a bit of a shame. I was kind of looking forward to that game. It's not one that I would generally play, but I know a couple of people that are pretty interested in it. It's a Left 4 Dead clone by the people who made Left 4 Dead for 1 and 2 actually.
Yeah, I mean,
just couldn't get a third made, so they went off and made it on
solidly involved on it. Well, that's just because Valve doesn't want threes.
Yeah, they don't like threes.
Yeah,
oddly.
I mean, obviously that's from a joke, isn't it? But it does seem to be an actual thing.
It does.
I mean, they couldn't even call Alex Half-Life Alex. They couldn't even call that Half-Life 3. They called it Half-Life Alex.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like there is still a Half-Life 3 being worked on somewhere. Like, why would you drop Half-Life Alex, which is a kind of connecting game?
Yeah.
It's odd, but hey-ho.
I've not played Alex.
I haven't yet. I had what is probably the main point of the game spoiled for me, though, which was a shame. I can't even remember where that happened. I think it was just a random YouTube video who just weren't. Oh yeah, we're going to spoil this game.
That's a shame. Yeah.
But I haven't finished Half-Life 2 yet. I'm getting through the series.
Have you not?
I played it when I was young, but I never finished it. And I finished Half-Life 1 a bunch of times.
Yeah.
But, Half-Life 2 still holds up really well. It's really surprising. I'm loving it.
Yeah, I've definitely not played Half-Life 2 since I was in college.
Sure.
Maybe even secondary school, to be honest. Sure. But yeah, no, I mean, I loved the two games. Alex has been on my my I will play you eventually list for a very long time. But Back for Blood, I'm down with that. I absolutely loved playing the Left 4 Dead games, and it's another one of those games you can sit down in your living room, chuck another controller to your mate, and blast on zombies for a while. So
I love I love mods in that game. The mods were just hilarious half the time.
The mods are so dumb. Like some of them are really good. Yeah, some of the custom made maps, absolutely amazing.
Sure. I only installed the
some
dumb
of them
ones.
Not so amazing.
Like I had the chainsaw make the chainsawing noise that Homer Simpson makes in the Simpsons movie, and like stupid shit like that. Or like had the the tank was the Kool-Aid guy, or stupid things like that. Like,
I definitely played around with a few stupid ones, but I think one of the best mods I put on there, for myself anyway, was turning the witch invisible.
oh,
So you wouldn't be able to see her. You can hear her, but you can't see her. So you're way more likely to accidentally startle her.
yeah,
Like I went through a phase where I wanted to make the game harder,
Sure.
or even like atmospheric mods to it as well. They're pretty neat.
nice.
I think when I think of modding, I don't tend to sway down the route of making the game funnier. Like I spend a lot of time looking at how I can make the game more atmospheric. So Fallout 4, right? I'm not a Fallout fan. I really am not a Fallout fan. For some unknown reason, I did buy Fallout 4, knowing that I wasn't a Fallout player.
Sure.
But yeah, I chucked a load of mods on it that just made it really atmospheric and made the wastelands feel like a dangerous place to be.
Yeah.
And it certainly changed it up and engaged me a bit more, but it didn't engage me enough to play the full game.
Sure.
So, it didn't work out in the end.
Fair. Two final points. One serious. Microsoft seemed to be buying Discord. And the article I have up suggests that it's for more than $10 billion. So Microsoft have just been on a bit of a spending spree recently. They obviously wrapped up the Bethesda deal. They're apparently looking at another publisher or developer to purchase up, which may or may not be Sega. But now this is, I don't know where it's come from, but it's just kind of, it's a thing. Like Discord.
It kind of makes sense in a weird way.
Yeah, I mean, they failed
like-
hard with Mixer, which is a slightly different, was a slightly different thing. That was meant to be a Twitch rival sort of thing. But yeah, they could be purchasing up Discord, and apparently they are in exclusive talks with Microsoft to actually be bought up. So it's a very serious stage of talking, and it could actually be wrapped up within a couple of weeks, apparently.
Yeah.
Which is interesting.
I mean, I think it makes sense. Integration, Discord's platform that is used on majority is certainly going to be PC for PC gaming. Obviously, most people who use it on PC use it on their phone as well. So for Microsoft, from a standpoint there, it makes sense for them to be able to collate more data from people's phones in a perfectly legal manner, of course. And yeah, no, I think it makes sense. To be honest, like Discord has a few issues here and there.
Sure.
So Microsoft owning Discord might not be the worst thing in the world.
Yeah, I mean, like,
as long as they keep like because there's some things with Discord where like, like you got Twitch partners and stuff like that. You can become a Discord partner. For growing like really large communities and that, and I'm pretty sure they will, but because Microsoft seem to be all right with that sort of stuff. But as long as they keep it running the same way that it is and just use their powers to integrate better, I guess.
Yeah,
that's all they really need to do.
Yeah, I would imagine so. They have been pretty good with that sort of thing before, and I think it is pretty smart as well, because like I said, they lost Mixer. They kind of gave up on it after it started to just become evident it wasn't doing anything for them. Discord is kind of a logical step. There are so many podcasters that I listen to that even if they use Zoom as their main like method of communication, they do have Discord open for like their fans to pop in that have paid for their Patreon access and stuff like that. So Discord, I think it is a pretty smart move. It is.
I think
just going.
Discord is potentially the future, or well, no, it is. It's literally the present for like your communication board. I'd say it's more important than things like Facebook. So say, like you say, using Patreon, like it's a good way to actually feel more like a part of a community.
Yeah, absolutely.
Than using things like Facebook and Twitter. Yeah. Twitter's great. Someone sends out like a 300 word or character tweet, and you're like, yo, okay, that's cool. But then, with Discord and the way you can set Discord up, your Discord channels up, I guess it lets people know a bit more about you as a person based on what you put into your Discord. So it's like, if I have a section about art uh, and music and stuff like that, then people immediately know that, oh yeah, my guy's into that sort of stuff as well
Yeah.
as like the normal thing that he does. And
Yeah.
it's just cool all around, sharing things without feeling like you have to respond to things. Like I think that's a real thing about Discord is it's like a forum, I guess. People post stuff. You don't feel like you have to respond.
Yeah, no, it is.
But obviously you can. And
Yeah.
then you've got the direct message inside of it as well. So yeah, I guess that's it. It's the future of forums.
Yeah, it does feel like an evolution of like your Facebook and stuff like that. Especially,
Yeah.
it feels like it's a kind of combination of like a Facebook mixed with a Reddit sort of thing in terms of like the community aspect, where you can build
Yeah.
and give access to like your community that you've created and stuff like that.
A lot of Reddits have Discord pages now as well. Like,
Sure.
yeah, it's just everything seems to these days lead back to Discord, which is exactly why Microsoft is looking to buy it, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, someone was bound to eventually. It was either going to be them or maybe like a Facebook or something like that.
Because Microsoft owns Skype now, don't they? Or they have done for a while.
Sure.
I think they do.
I would.
And Discord is definitely the Skype killer.
Oh, sure.
Like I'd say Discord killed Skype. Zoom, I think, become just really popular because it looked at things from a more of a business perspective, where Discord looks at things from a quote unquote gaming perspective. But ultimately, I mean, you use both for doing your podcast. Right now, we're
Yes.
using Discord to talk to each other. But I know for your other one, you use Zoom. And I mean, I'm sure they both have their perks and benefits.
Zoom is a bit more reliable. From what I've seen, is a bit more reliable for like the video stuff. Whereas if it's just audio, Discord does seem to be a bit better from my experience, anyway.
Yeah. I mean, the thing I really love about this is, like, we're talking right now over it, and without really having to do anything, I can just share any of my screen, and it's not necessarily my exact screen. I can just share with you a window that I've got open, so no matter what I'm doing on the rest of my screen, all you get is the window that I've given you access to.
If Zoom feels like Discord Lite sort of thing, it's almost like Discord for beginners. Because you could do you could do similar things with Discord, with Zoom, but not as great detail sort of thing. So if I was sharing my screen, for instance, it would be literally the screen. I wouldn't be able to do, like you said, share a specific window or something like that. Yeah, no, it seems like a pretty clever move again from Microsoft, which is something we're going to talk about for our final topic before we leave, because they have just been making a lot of very good and very smart moves over the last couple of years. Final point of the news was a weird one that popped up on my phone, and I thought it was funny, so I wanted to pop it in here. Is that cars now have microtransactions in them? So BMW have implemented microtransactions. I think Mercedes have as well, if I read correctly.
I mean, Merc tends to follow in BMW's footsteps, so that makes sense.
Yeah, or the other way around as well. Yeah, but it's really bizarre. It is stuff like Apple CarPlay, for instance, you have to pay for through the whatever kind of app store they have now.
Oh, very Apple.
Yeah, exactly. Or the other one that stuck out to me was a remote service, so you can lock and unlock your car and stuff like that all through your phone. You can pay for,
because that's not going to become an issue down the line.
Yeah,
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I don't like the idea. I'm not even a big fan of like keyless cars. That
weirds me out a little bit.
That seems like it makes it very easy to get into, but hey ho. But yeah, that was.
I wonder if they're going to get loot boxes.
What was that?
Like I wonder if they're going to get loot boxes. So like you buy yourself a little loot box and it spins around, and then because your car's so futuristic and high tech, it's like, yo, you just unlocked this new skin for your car, and like a load of dudes
dude,
just come running
imagine
from
you
the
could-
side of the road and wrap your car.
But imagine you can do that in future though. If you want to change the color of your car, it's just press a button and then it like futures, and your car just
Oh
changes.
yeah, man!
That'd
Look,
be dope.
I mean that would be sick. It's like today I'm feeling pearlescent purple, and I want like a little bit of a metallical black like rim, and yeah, I want a bright orange spoiler because those colours go together perfectly.
Apparently.
But I mean that would be pretty sick.
Yeah.
I mean to be able to do that with anything, it's like all of my tech's black here. My computer screen's black. My keyboard's black. My speakers are black, and my mic is black. If I could just push a button and have them change color, I mean that would be. I'd leave it on black, but
Yeah.
it would be pretty cool.
I mean, RBG is a thing. I love RBG. I know you're not as big of a fan.
Yeah, I got like a little blue backlit bit. And the only real reason I have that on is because I've actually found it helps my eyes if I'm looking at a screen for a long time. Just having a bit of blue backlight.
Yeah. I mean, I do a lot of like my editing and stuff like that just in complete darkness. So having any kind of light source is pretty handy.
Yeah, probably a good idea.
just a little bit. As said, that's all the news that we had to catch up with. Again, given it's been 2 weeks or so since we actually recorded properly, not a huge amount. But that gives us time to talk our final topic, and I wanted to touch on Xbox, like I said, because I've been acutely aware that we've been a bit lax on talking about Xbox, but that's because there hasn't been, although there has been news, there hasn't really been anything to like actually sink your teeth into. It's just been little bits of information here and there, and not a lot really of substance necessarily. Like the Bethesda thing was a thing, but it took a while to, and we're still in a state where we don't exactly know what's going where and stuff like that. But you mentioned earlier about playing games on your phone and that kind of killing a lot of the need for like any kind of PSP or anything like that. I picked up a Razer Kyo, I think it's Razer Kishi. That's my camera. That's a different thing.
Kishi.
And that with Game Pass xCloud or whatever they're calling it now, where I can just play games through my phone, may actually be better than the Nintendo Switch as a whole. Because I was like, I was playing a bunch. I played some of The Witcher on it, and it looked as good as it does on console. I played a bit of Nier Automata on it. It looks as good as it does on console. Same with Forza Horizon. I was playing games that a Switch just cannot run, and it's insane having it in the palm of your hand, sort of thing, and just being able to play around like that.
Well, I guess that's insane. Like big on what sort of phone you've actually got. So if I use iPhone as an example,
it's not on iPhone, but it doesn't matter what phone you have because it's purely streamed. It is
I get that, but it's more about like how crisp and how like slick it's looking.
Sure.
So like I've got an iPhone 10, which is a little bit old now, but it's still got a pretty decent screen. And then you had the iPhone XR. Was it XR? I don't know. It's something. Came out and it only had a 720 screen.
Right. With you.
So things like that are definitely going to affect.
Yeah. For sure.
How you're playing on there, but I mean, it's still sick. A 720p screen in such a small space is still going to look a lot crisper than a large 1080p display. So
for sure. I mean, that's part of the thing with the Switch. Like the Switch's screen is not great, but because it's small, it looks fine. But
what is the Switch?
I'm just looking it up. I think it might still be 720, but I'm not 100% sure.
Wow, I'd be surprised if it was.
Screen
resolution 720.
Yeah, it's 720.
Wow. Wow. But I mean, 6.2 inches of 720. Yeah. All right.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. It fits and it works fine. Everything looks okay at that sort of resolution and size. It is just more when you dock it and put it on a screen that you want, the resolution to be bumped, which is something we're
Yeah.
hoping for. I don't think the actual Switch itself needs a better screen necessarily. It needs a better battery life and some more power would be nice to have, some better games or more demanding games on there. But the actual, screen built into the Switch is fine. I don't think we need an
Yeah.
upgrade of it. But no, xCloud is absolutely bonkers. Like, especially now that I've got the clip-on controller for it. Like it's the way I want to be playing like indie games because there are so many indie games that I've picked up for Switch that go on Game Pass, and I could
Yeah.
just like play them for free or within my subscription. When I'm paying like £10 a month for the subscription, paid 20 quid one off for an indie game sort of thing. If I can play that on my phone, it kind of, other than Nintendo's games, it kind of negates my need for a Switch, which is bizarre
Yeah.
to me. And with EA Play's been wrapped in like fully now, it's on PC now as well, which is great because it got delayed for some reason. Still not quite sure why it got delayed on PC, but
Yeah. EA.
EA, yeah, probably. And like, Xbox are just doing some really great work with Game Pass. Like, I've got here about how they've hired a separate company to improve ports of games. So Nier Automata is the focus of this because the normal PC version of Nier Automata is pretty bad. Apparently, there's a lot of issues with it. But Game
Really?
Pass PC, it works fine because Xbox have a separate company that have touched up, made it work better for Game Pass PC.
Oddly, I didn't notice many issues, but anyway, I mean, I'm obviously wrong.
No, I mean not necessarily. Like,
Maybe my computer's just sick, and
yeah,
that's
maybe.
why it was fine.
Yeah,
I
maybe
mean, it's
you have the perfect
very
combination of
outdated
stuff to
now.
run that game.
Yeah.
But in general, Nier Automata is apparently really bad on Steam, for instance. So it's been review bombed because the Xbox's PC version runs pretty well from as far as I can see. I've only played a bit of it so far on PC. And Steam users are pissed off that they've paid for a broken version when over here on Game Pass they've got a version that works, which to Xbox's credit, they've put in.
This
They
is a
put
bit
down the
mental,
money, but
actually. So I couldn't help myself. I had to open it on the Steam page.
Mm-hmm.
So all reviews, very positive. Recent reviews, mostly negative.
Mm-hmm.
Now, that's obviously because of exactly what you're talking about here. Man, I mean, you expect every game to have bugs. Like, I always expect every game to have bugs, but that's just mental. And it's in the past, since March, basically, pretty much all of these negative reviews. There was a few, like, right at the beginning of its release on Steam, but
I'm trying to see what the actual issues were, but it sounds like they were pretty. They must be pretty bad if people are this upset that there is a working version. Like, they must have been some pretty solid issues.
Fidelity effects, HDR, borderless mode, and improved performance while doing absolutely nothing about the pre-existing version.
Yeah.
So,
it just sounds like it was a bad port because it was a PS4 exclusive game at first. It wasn't meant for PC, so it would have been a port. So
this is my favorite review. Port. We pay money for discrimination. or I like this one as well. Gib patch greedy.
Oh, that's great. Dear. I love like one-line reviews like that. They're always funny. Yeah. They're always really funny. As we mentioned before as well, like there is potential. I don't know if they're straight up going to buy Sega, or if it is going to be like a partnership sort of thing, like PlayStation have with numerous places, because practically all, if not all, of the Yakuza games are now on Game Pass, and they made a big deal about that finally because the Yakuza games are pretty fun.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure if it's going to be, they're straight up buying them, or if there is going to be like some kind of deal in place. And there's been a lot of noise about maybe getting the PlayStation exclusive Persona series over there as well, which would be a huge deal because Persona 5 was the highest rated game of last year, even though it was like a director's cut, like Bully Scholarship Edition kind of deal where they added content. It was still the highest rated game of last year. And, being able to play that for, not have to pay the 60, 70 quid, you pay that for like an entire year's worth of being able to play that game sort of thing. It's
Yeah,
really
I mean, that's
cool.
pretty sick.
Do you have Game Pass? Did you get it for PC?
No, I mean, I did. I paid for it for a short while, and then forgot that I had it. So,
Sure.
abruptly cancelled it. Thing is, if like I like games. I talk a lot about old games all the time because that's the majority of my gaming knowledge. I do love playing games. When a new game comes out that really like gets me, then I'm on it. I will play it. But yeah, to me, it's not the most useful tool in the world, I guess. Like if I was getting through games a bit quicker, then I guess it would make sense. But like it's like I said to you yesterday, I'm just looking now at actually playing through The Witcher 3 properly and actually getting through the game, and that's after me owning it since it came out. So I think I'm just a bit slow on getting through things.
I mean, you're obviously bigger into like Elder Scrolls than you are Fallout.
Yeah.
Do you imagine you'd consider like getting a couple of months subscription to Game Pass to play that rather than paying it outright?
Well, how much is Game Pass now? It's only a couple of quid.
I pay
much.
£10, but that's for Ultimate, so I've got it on my phone, my PC, and an actual Xbox. I don't know off the top of my head how much just PC is.
Yeah, well, either way, it's like reasonably priced.
Yeah.
If I could conceive the idea of completing the game quicker, then it would cost me in Game Pass subscription. Basically, if the game's going to cost me 70 quid, if I reckon I could complete the game in less than 7 months, which I think is fair if you get like really locked into a game, that's very fair. Even a game as big as like Elder Scrolls hopefully will be. It just makes more sense from a money side for me to get the pass.
Yeah. At the moment, you can join for £1.
Excuse me? What?
I don't know if that's still going to be a thing by the time that Elder Scrolls 6 comes out. But yeah, at the minute, it's £1 and then $7.99 a month.
Yeah, $7.99. That ain't bad.
So yeah, you could probably get 12 months out of that, like 70 odd quid.
Yeah.
Roughly,
Yeah, and that gives me access to everything they add to the Game Pass. So
yeah. So then that could be your main reason for having it, and then you could be like, ooh, X game sort of thing.
Oh, they got Squadrons on here. Oh shit.
Yeah. So that's part of EA Play just coming on there. I want to play. I don't know.
It's a lot of fun, man. I bought it actually, Squadrons.
Oh, really?
Now I played it for a few hours and then forgot I had it. No, it weren't even a few hours. It was about an hour and a half, and I forgot I had it. I really did enjoy playing it, but for some reason I decided to get I think I needed the money, to be totally honest. So I just got the refund off of Steam because I'd not hit the quota.
Like genuinely.
But I mean, I was enjoying it.
Yeah, I haven't played it yet, so I want to play it in VR because it looks like it's a game that's made for VR, and then they kind of just have it non-VR as well. But as much shit as Xbox do get, Game Pass is genuinely the best kind of deal in gaming. Like all of their first-party games come first, like the same day as their launch. So you negate the need to pay 60, 70 quid for a game. and they're constantly adding, some pretty cool games on there. Like I've got
Octopath is on there. That's a
that's
game
one
that I
that's
wanted to play.
that came recently. Like there's an absolute plethora of cool games on there. And Red Dead Redemption was on there not too long ago. GTA 5 was on there not too long ago. So I guess it is just if there is that hook game. So like in your case, in Elder Scrolls 6, for instance, that it does get you in that that kind of gateway drug sort of thing.
I have just seen Alan Wake's on here, and we talked about that last time.
I think
and
Control's
that's been
on
in
there
my
now as well.
Yeah, I think I did just see that. I almost bought it. It's like $11.99 on Steam, and I very nearly bought it. But I mean, knowing it's on here now, and I could play it for £1.
Yeah. I mean, like I just downloaded Nier Automata for the PC. Because Tom's actually got my disc copy, so hopefully he actually finishes that at some point. But yeah, it's got some really, really cool games on there. And it is just bonkers how, like, I still don't think it's profitable for them. I don't think they've said that it's profitable. I think they've acknowledged that they are still taking a bit of a hit. But
well, I mean, if we look at it, and a lot of the games that are on here, like I'm just scrolling through it now. It's either there's a lot of stuff that I've either bought before or currently own.
Yeah.
Which is fine, because sometimes you do want to go back and play old games, like Forza Horizon 4, as an example.
Yes.
I could easily turn that back on and.
Well, that's one of the weird things. That's just got a Steam launch, and it's done very, very well.
Yeah.
But it's kind of bonkers because why would you pay for it on Steam when you could just?
So I think there's this thing with a lot of let's gonna do quotation marks here. Yeah, just imagine them in your heads. PC gamers. It's Steam. It's not PC gaming, is it? It's Steam. It's Steam gamers.
Yeah, I mean, look at the fuss that was made when Epic started encroaching in on that, and
and I think that is a real issue with it. I mean, it's no issue for me. I will play my game wherever it lands.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
I play Red Dead Redemption. I don't have it on Steam. I have it on Rockstar.
Okay, yeah, sure.
And that's fine by me.
Sure.
Especially seeing as they're the ones who've made the game. All it means is I don't get the Steam stats, which, if you're a stat hunter, then I can understand why you want to keep all of your stuff in one place.
Yeah.
But I mean, I am absolutely not a stat hunter. I've had Steam for a very long time, and I'm level 10. I don't even know what that means.
Yeah, no, me neither. I don't know what any of the cards do, or any of the stickers you can get, or anything like that. It's just.
Yeah, I mean, you can sell stickers and that. People buy them for pennies.
Yeah, I've never had anyone buy any of mine.
Yeah, I just list it as soon as I get one. I just list it. They disappear eventually. But just as a reference, I said I'm level 10. A friend of mine who signed up to Steam at roughly the same time is level 46. So,
but the thing that I think annoys me about that is it is based on what you're buying and not how well you do at those games and get achievements and stuff like that. I think.
Yeah.
I think it is
probably
mostly just based on buying games, not actually playing those games.
I don't know though. I'm not so into that side of it anyway. But yeah, Xbox Gamepass. I mean, I'm pretty much sold now. I've just noticed it's got observation on there as well, and I've been wanting to play that.
Yeah, it is a good one because, if you do, like you did do, if you find that you're not using it for a bit, you can just dip out until there is something that takes your fancy. They are constantly. I think they need to do a better job of advertising, and being like, "Yo, this game's coming on there," sort of thing. They did it.
Oh, they got Spiritfarer.
Yeah, that was one of the ones that annoyed me. So I bought that the same day it was announced because it got a shadow drop from a Nintendo Direct. And then after I bought it, I was on my PC because I was capturing some of it. And then it was like, hey, it's on Game Pass. And I'm like, what? I just
You
paid like 20.
bastards.
Ah,
Yeah.
son of a. Which again is where
Basically,
xCloud comes in super handy because I could play that on my phone.
I think here's a really good way to tell whether it's worth your money. Go onto it, click on the All Games tab, start scrolling through page by page, and if you can find at least one game on every single page that you'd be interested in playing, then
Absolutely.
it's worth it. Because so far, I've scrolled round to page 11, and I found at least one game on each page that I really want to play, and I probably literally am going to join now because I've just noticed that the Medium is on there. Now, that game didn't exactly get the best reviews in the world, but it looks like a game that's right up my street. It's a horror game.
Yeah, it does have some Alan Wake and like Resident Evil, like early Resident Evil
Silent
vibes.
Hill
I didn't
esque,
particularly like it, but it might be right up your street.
Yeah. But yeah, I've been interested to play that for a long time, but because of bad reviews, I've put off getting it. But knowing that it's on here, if I'm going to have something else off of it anyway, this gives me an opportunity to try it again.
Yeah, no.
At the very least.
And then you can it's not you need to hunt to get your refund. It is simply that, okay, cool, that sucked. Uninstall. Because like for me, like it ran so badly for me. Like hopefully yours would be different, but it just ran so poorly. But yeah, no, Game Pass is insanely good. Like
it has Zoo Tycoon.
it doesn't work if anyone else does it because Microsoft have the money to absorb, losing that money, however much they are losing on it. Because I can't imagine they're making money on it, and if they are, it's only a little bit, sort of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, Game Pass is good. Game Pass is very, very cool.
And what it does is it buys brand loyalty, and that's probably what they're going for with it. I mean, it's like, say, Microsoft has a lot of outlets to make large sums of money.
They do. They do. And they're pushing this harder than they're pushing their consoles.
Yeah.
Like, this is the way they want to go forward. I honestly wouldn't be surprised if they find that it is, Game Pass is properly successful. They will maybe have like another Series S where there is no disk drive. There's not a lot of memory space like capacity on there, and it is a Game Pass console. Effectively, you can download games. You don't have the option of this massive, like all-encompassing, really powerful machine anymore.
Yeah,
but yeah, we are going to end it on that note. Game Pass is good, everybody. Game Pass is good. Everyone should get it.
I mean, if you wasn't convinced by me becoming convinced, then go and convince yourself by having a look.
I mean, I'm genuinely surprised you've been that easily convinced, because you're normally a bit
stubborn.
Yeah, I was going to say frugal. It was a bit like, I don't need to spend this money sort of thing. But the fact it swayed you that quickly is pretty stunning. It is.
It's like I say, there was at least one or two games on every single page that I was like, yeah, I'd play that, play that.
Yeah.
And even if I only played one of them a month, it still only cost me $7.99. So
yeah, exactly. In even if it is an older game, you're still likely getting it cheaper than if you were to buy it.
Yeah.
As you saw with
Alan Wake, yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Have you played Alan Wake before?
Yeah. I loved it. That's why I was so excited when we started talking about it. I was like, yeah, man, I got to get back through that.
Yeah, Alan Wake's great. I can't wait. It seems like they're going to make a sequel, so
yeah,
I'm very excited for that. But yeah, thank you very much for joining me, Jake. Thank you for listening, everyone that's listened or kind of watched, to anybody that watches this on YouTube. If you like this, give us a like, give us some nice comments and stuff like that. As always, I still do have an email address if you have any questions, concerns, comments, anything like that you want to send to me. That is esgvids@gmail.com. And hopefully next week we'll have Tom back with us, but we will see. You should definitely have me and Jake back again. But until then, take care, and we'll see you again soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.